All right, so this is, I think, the second time we've done this, where we've kind of done a public call. This thing is out there in the internet. That chime, I wish there was a way to get that. I'm going to be talking and it's going to say, hi, everybody, we're doing those. This is a question, this is a chance for anyone in the company or anyone outside the company, our borrowers, our brokers, our partners, even our investors, our note buyers, like literally anyone, or people that maybe want to work here. It's just a question, nothing's off limits. I might not answer the question, I might take it offline, but as long as it's not like something proprietary or something, I'll try to answer every question I can. So it's a question, really no topics off limits. And if it is off limits, I just won't engage. But I mean, I'll answer whatever's thrown at me. Okay, let's get going. So this is just a quick review. Oh, is this how this works? Oh.
I had to click on it because I had his.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. And then you can kind of go through the chat, or maybe you see the chat on your phone, or I don't know.
Tyler's doing that.
Oh. Yeah, please moderate so I don't get people yelling at me. You know, I might have an angry borrower. Just kidding. You guys all love us. Okay. Q&A. Throw questions in the chat. We'll get to them. I do want this to be interactive, so just try to lean into it and ask questions, especially if you haven't worked with us or maybe if you're just thinking about doing deals with us. What the heck? Oh, sorry. Okay. Boom. Agenda. So we're going to go over what we did first quarter, mission statement, news and updates, goals, extracurriculars, and Q&A. So Q1, these were our goals. So at our last annual in December, we set some company goals. And then I think we went over them at the Christmas party. I think we put these on, so we were kind of ahead of schedule at that time. We really tried to get some numbers together, put them on slides at the Christmas party, so this is what we're going for, guys. We put some thought into it. So these are our goals for the year, 2025 as a whole. I'm sorry, these are our 90-day goals. So these were our first quarter goals. So we want to do 30 million loan volume, 150 closing units, which means we think we need 300 qualified loans, 1,800 quoted loans. We wanted to get our servicing portfolio, which is 75 million, our AUM to 30, and our investor capital managed to 17.5. So now it's been 3 months, hard to believe. We're already through first quarter. See how we did. So closed loan volume goal 30 million. We hit 27.9, so 28 million. So we did hit our tier 1 goal of 25 million, our tier 2 goal of 30 million. We barely missed it by about 7%. But I do want to give everyone a hand. So good job. I think y'all got it. We did hit our 25 goal. Of course, the stretch goal, we missed it, but we were pretty close. So yeah, so that one was close. Closed loans, 150. We were at 136, about 10% off. Qualified units, we wanted to hit 300. We're at 250, so it's about 16% off. And then quoted units, 1,800, we hit 1,350, about 24% off. So I think what needs to happen here is we need to recalibrate some of our ratios on deals coming in, because the 6-to-1 and the 2-to-1 isn't panning out exactly. So I think we need to recalibrate these goals with our exact percentages. So something to think about moving forward. Our active servicing portfolio, we wanted to get to 75 million in servicing portfolio. We got to 17.3, so we were close, about 3.5% off. AUM, we wanted to get to 30 million, and we did. So good job. So a little bit overperformed there. And then investor capital managed 17.5. We're at 13.8. I don't know how current this is. So if you count everything through the end of the quarter, yeah, I don't know how up to date this is.
It's accurate. It's taking into consideration redemptions in Q4, and we had about 608,000 come out. So there was more money that came in, but.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Awesome. This is our portfolio as of, no, these are completed loans as at the end of March. And these are loans that have resolved. So principal return is the result we want. That's 98% of the time, 807 times. Short sales, 0.5% of the time. REO is 1.5% of the time. Yeah, this is completed loans. This is the current portfolio as of, end of March, so March 31st. There's real consequences. Gosh, I got a fly kind of flying at me. I mean, come on now, I'm live, you know. That it's not fair. Like, you know, anyway. This is a current portfolio as of the end of March, as of the end of the first quarter. So green is current. If it's not green, it's in some form of distress. So, guys, there's real consequences to rushing deals through, not doing good deals, a borrower overextending, taking on more than they can chew, borrowing a down payment, not having the, you know, wiggle room and this and that. So we see it here, right? Now, not all forms of distress are the same. The 60-day maturity bucket is the, you know, is really where most of the concern is. We got 15 of those. So those are probably not going to resolve well, most of them. Everything else is in a different state. So, you know, if you're 30 days late, yeah, it's not great, but risk of loss there is a lot lower than in the 60-day matured bucket. Same with the 0 to 30-day matured bucket. There's 8 of those. So this is going back to end of March. So that would be, they matured March 1st. The risk of loss on those is pretty low relative to the 60-day matured bucket. So what I'm saying is not all distressed buckets are equal, but there's 9% of the portfolios in some form of distress. Some is less severe than others. And of course, loan servicing, we try to keep the green loans green, and then the red loans, we try to turn into green loans, but it's not easy. So 371 units, 72 million. Whoops. I love the animation. So still bringing reliable private capital for real estate investors. Guys, there's a lot of money out there for rehabbers and for flippers and builders and banks and this and that. There's a lot of money out there. I think what we still care about is being reliable, trying to close on time, trying to communicate, even though it's not easy. And then, you know, sort of being able to have difficult conversations and close deals on time and at the quoted terms. Now, we need accurate data coming in, of course, to help quote those deals accurately, but I think we do as good of a job as anyone of delivering on those term sheets that we send out up front. So news and updates. So we had an investor summit last week, so that was good. We've never hosted a live event before, so that was a learning experience, and we'll try to bring it back bigger and better next year. So thank you to everyone that helped set that up. That was a lot of fun. Also, we've increased leverage. So every credit bucket we have went up 2.5%. So that's a big deal, guys. We do want to win more deals. We want to do it thoughtfully, but I felt like with our overall performance, we could afford a small bump. Also, we reworked our entire sizer to get rid of cumulative leverage hits. So if someone has lower experience and medium credit, they don't get a cumulative, sort of deduction. They just get like that one deduction. So we're trying to not advance 90 or 90% unless everything is perfect. But if 2 or 3 characteristics of a file are, you know, not 100% there, we don't need 3 cumulative hits. So this kind of helped fix that, helped our sales team win and leverage deals sort of the right way. That's a big change for us. And so obviously I'm watching that very closely. Because that puts more risk on our investors, and we, you know, so we're winning more deals on the sales side, but we are exposing our investors to more risk. So we should be very thoughtful with that and watch it closely. Okay, the org chart is getting switched up a little bit. So we are experimenting with AI agents. So we have one now that orders title work, and of course that is getting worked through. It's not perfect, but it's something that we're trying to experiment with. It's very important that we understand kind of why we're doing this. Our investors, our borrowers are not going to pay us more than they can pay a competitor. So we're going to get price compression from our borrowers because they don't want to overpay compared to what they can get elsewhere. And so for us to deliver goods and services to the market, we have to be competitive with our competitors. Well, for us to deliver goods and services to the market, it means we have to be efficient. And for us to be efficient, we have to look into optimizing workflows and automations and this kind of thing. So there's really 2 schools of thought here. There is, oh my gosh, machines are taking my job. That's kind of where everybody goes first. And then there's sort of the abundance state of, wow, this technology is pretty cool. Let me learn it so that I can stay relevant in a fast changing economy. And so my sell to you guys is get to that state, try to get out of this place and move to this place as fast as possible. So if you can learn these tools, you're going to be able to work in a white collar position for a very long time. And I don't want anybody to get left behind. So I think it's very important that we understand these things and we work with them and not sort of against them. We are also bringing on a few salaried sales roles, and our internal sizer is going through some changes to sort of reflect that. In general, par is going up, but the minimum commission when you hit par is also going up. I'm still working through the nuances there. And then the last org chart change that I like to see is I would like to see processing consolidate to a closer role. I'd like to see some sort of closer role. I don't know who's going to do it, but having all of you close all your deals, do all your files, watch escrow, and CC everyone else. I think if we can just get a deal to the closing spot and then pass it off, it might help. So this is a discussion that I'd like to have. So the point of this is to just be vulnerable and say, I think this is where we're going. You can ask questions. I might not have all the answers, but this is just sort of the thoughts of where we're at. All right. Credit box. This is kind of where we're at today. This is more for the audience. You guys that are internal, you know this thing. Act and center. 90, 85, and 80. We got our FICO adjustments, our experience adjustments. Again, the max is the change. We're not doing the cumulative hits. New market is a cumulative hit, so that's an important nuance. But the 0 to 6 plus is not cumulative, it's just a cap. Ground up or additions are a cumulative hit, but they're only for a ground up or addition strategy. And then you got your deal-based adjustments on the right. Any of you that are thinking of doing deals with us, we have this on a PDF and we can send it to you, okay? So I don't know if we want to let a broker or, okay, as Tyler just said, if you have a question, send it to me. I do this in for fun. I'm not a tax advisor, but deadline is tomorrow for your Roth. So I'm pushing everyone to save for your retirement. Roth IRA, your 2024 contribution is due tomorrow. Set it up. put $100 in, right? No excuse. Just do it, put it in some Tesla stock or whatever. It's on sale right now. So, you know,
That was good.
cars are getting bombed, but no one's keyed my car yet, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, I mean, what is that? It's crazy. I thought we were pro-green, but anyway, no, just a reminder, the deadline is tomorrow, and you can't do like a late contribution on that. So, so 1 year goals kind of remain the same. We still have the loan volume goal of 150 million this year. Closing unit goal of 750, qualified loans goal of 1,500. Voted loan goal of 9,000. Now, Jason, we may need to recalibrate this because we're seeing more qualified loans. We're seeing that ratio change. It was a 6-to-1 last year. Now it looks like a 5.5-to-1 or something like that. So we want to end the year with 125 million in the bridge portfolio, 50 million in AUM, and 25 million of investor capital managed. And so you can see this is where we're at for Q1. So loan volume, you see, we kind of have to ramp up a little bit to get there. But yeah, just for comparison, kind of see we're a quarter of the way through the year. We are going to grow through the year. So in theory, Q2 should be more than Q1, Q3 should be more than Q2, but Q4 has been what I learned is that Q4, December is like a slower month. I didn't really know this, but it's like harder to get stuff done in December. So we want to be ahead of schedule by the time we get to December. Strategic initiatives remain the same. So Central Lending Capital is live for our investors that invest in our fund or for investors that buy our notes. So that's split off of centrallending.com, which is just for borrowers and brokers who need to borrow money from us or broker deals with us. So we've split those apart. We're still working on getting portals that meet our standards on those interfaces. So we're making some improvements to the Central Lending Capital portal. And then the Central Lending, we're working with Baseline to try and get that to be more usable. We've already done this one, the investor event. Very proud of our first run at it. So many things we can learn, but we did a good job with that. So now we can take a deep breath and just kind of get back to status quo. And then the internal accountant is going to join the org chart probably third quarter is what we're thinking at. So this is Q2. This is what we're trying to do. 35 million in loan volume. We think that'll require 170 closing units. So processing, think, what does that look like? What does my team look like? What's my workload look like? How many, that means we have to move up 275 units. What's the ratio on that? 340. So that's like a better. So you actually already changed it. Yeah, Jason or somebody changed. Yeah, we changed that. So we changed the ratio there. So that's good. So we're going to have to move up 275 units in the next 2.5 months to meet our goal. So what does that team look like to actually process those units? And the point of putting this out there is if that feels overwhelming with a team of 5, I think it is now, or 6, wherever we land, let's raise that as an issue on our L10 and kind of talk about how to get ahead of that. We think we need to quote 1,450 units at our loan volume. We want to end the quarter and halfway through the year be at 82 million in the servicing portfolio. AUM, we want to be at 31 million halfway through the year. And then investor capital managed, we want to be at 22 million. We've cut off Glue. I pay attention. I see you guys using Google Chat, so I'm not going to force it. It does cost money. And the big issue with Glue is I think there's real value in AI empowered work chat. The problem with Glue is where it fell short is it didn't have recall memory beyond like 50 messages. So it couldn't recall a chat log. It couldn't go back like 200 messages and pull a data point that you needed. So they need to figure that out. I don't know if Slack has figured it out, but for now we're just sending back to Google Chat. We'd like to lean into 90.io, move more of our written processes over. But I just looked at their process section and they're sort of changing it on their end. So this one, not 100%. The Baseline has been rapidly improving their software behind the scenes. I'm doing multiple clients and trial runs with them. They're getting a lot better month over month. So I want to start leaning into their software more for loan originations. I think for the customer side, it can provide a pretty good experience. So I don't know if they're there yet, but they are getting better every single month and they come out with a lot of updates. Okay, so we're going to continue book club this quarter. Woohoo! Yeah, that seems to be popular.
Yeah.
I am going to continue my bi-weekly goals call on Wednesday. And I'm discontinuing my structured walk on Monday, although I'm still going on my own. If you want to sign up and be part of the call on Wednesday, it's 5 p.m. and it's every other Wednesday. And those of us that are in that group, you know, I think it's just nice to have a group hold you accountable. So with that being said, are there any, is there any questions from anyone? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Sweet.
I think Tyler was going to speak that.
Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to raise your hand or enter your questions in the chat. We have a question from Jason Taken. He's asking if the heavy construction sizer hits still.
If what?
If the heavy construction part of the sizer still hits LTC.
Heavy construction is 90%. It has been and still is 90%. Heavy construction is lumped in with regular rehab.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it probably shouldn't be, but it is right now. So we are unfairly priced, sort of in your benefit for low purchase, high rehab. I feel like we should modify leverage and modify pricing, but we don't. So take advantage of it. All right, anything else? Are the robots taking over?
Not yet.
Okay, well, cool. Well, we'll get on to our dates and yeah, we'll see you guys in a quarter. I mean, we did pretty good. These pie charts are mostly green. Wait, this one's a little red. That one's very green. That's over green. Green, kind of red. This one's very green. Little red, mostly green, very green, very green. So yeah, I mean, let's just keep the originations going and then let's try and staff ahead and think of how to get ahead of the incoming originations. So that's kind of just not, we're not slowing down, we're going to get a little faster. So I just want everybody prepared for that. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.